hazel helmet like this, known for its iconic nose protection. But today we will be wearing a helmet like this for safety reasons.
Yeah. But this was, it got me out here. I'm out here.
Are we doing helmets or fencing masks?
Fencing masks.
I was going to do fencing masks.
I deliberately did not bring my helmet because I was like, mask is going to be safer
Yes.
for the bits that are going to be potentially exposed.
Yeah. Masks.
Well, yeah, I want to be able to trust the face.
Do you have a point system you want to play?
Yeah,
Are
we're
you
gonna just
to a
use
score?
the icebreaker
Sounds
point
good.
system for the bouts. Yeah,
Is-
so 3. So you start at 10.
Okay.
If you get hit in the head, you lose 3 points. If you get hit in the body, you lose 2 points. If you get hit on a limb, you lose 1 point. Whoever gets the other person to 0 first wins. We'll record the end scores and who won. And then we'll go down, and then after I fenced everybody, we're just gonna have you guys rotate and keep fencing me. So basically, whenever somebody gets hit, somebody new switches in until I get hit in the head 10 times, and we'll just time how long that takes.
Oh, I love that.
Just to like see like how my endurance will be affected later, because that's probably a little more realistic to the battle.
Just like put 2 shields, just push for 10
Yeah,
hours.
we can totally
For 10 hours.
I don't know how
That's
long
that fight lasted.
I don't think it was 10 hours.
I mean, they probably weren't engaged for the entire 10 hours. Do you want to do
Well, we
hour
know they
on,
weren't,
10
dude.
minutes off
Yeah.
for 10 hours? How about
Well, we
that?
know they had time to
So
talk
for
in
the
between.
rotation,
Uh-huh.
do we want to swap between kite center?
How many shields do we have?
We have plenty, but just like we only need 2, and they can swap between it. Like,
Yeah,
whoever
that
just
should be
comes off
fine.
and hit the next person.
Yeah.
So that way we can get kite
Start
for
with
half,
this one, yeah, and then just switch it.
switch to whatever round.
So that'll work perfect.
Whose round 2 is that?
Okay. Fight 1.
Fighters ready?
Ready.
Fighters ready?
Ready. Ready.
Whew. Yeah, torso. Just high enough that it was only torso.
Okay, hit on Patrick's torso. Fighters ready?
Ready.
Begin.
Oh, nice. Leg as I was getting that slice, for sure.
Okay, so head Leo.
Leg from me, for sure.
Okay. Leg Patrick, head Leo. 7, 4. Fighters ready?
Ready.
Ready again.
Oh, nice. Oh. Body then head?
I'll just take body then.
Okay.
Body on Patrick.
Cut on my head.
What?
Body on Patrick. Fighters ready?
Ready.
Ready.
Begin.
Too high. Off the shield. No.
Body on Leo, leg on Patrick. 4, 2. Fighters ready?
Ready.
Begin. Okay.
Head on both.
Head on both?
Head on both. I don't think I had that in time.
Okay.
Alright, I think
That's so if you're calling head on both, then that's it, right?
yeah, we will do negatives for this, I guess, just because.
-1.
Alright. Thanks, Patrick.
Well done.
Nice job.
Alright, I'm giving myself 30-second breaks.
Battle 2.
Also hold. 7, 8. Right. Spencer's ready.
Ready.
Fight.
I think that was body.
Body. Nothing. 5, 8. Spencer's ready.
Ready.
Spence. Where'd you get hit? Noggin. All right. Head. 5, 5. All right. Spencer's ready.
Ready.
Fight. Head. Nothing.
Yep.
5, 2. Spencer's ready.
Ready.
Fight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nothing. 4, 2. Spencer's ready. Fight. Nothing. 1, 2. Here we go. All the Tostitos. Spencer's ready.
Ready. Ready.
Spence.
Can somebody grab those masks?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right, Spencer's ready.
Ready.
Spence. All
Good back.
right.
10 arms to 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5-8.
Very good.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I'm good. Torso, Leo. Anything that you have to do, sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I felt very needy.
No, I'm good.
Thank you. You're bad.
No, we're not done. No, that was, I'm sorry for stabbing you that hard.
Is it 2-8?
Bodies is 2, yeah?
Yeah.
That's 3. 3-8.
Okay.
It didn't look very sound to me, so I'm gonna say no.
Oh, bad.
Alright, head, nothing.
Yep.
Okay, next.
Well, come on.
He was part of the reason I was like, yeah, I can pull it.
Convincingly, anyway. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
I got it on the arm.
Oh, you got hit on the arm, Leo?
Yeah.
What are we at? Leo's got 2, you got 8. You got him right where you want him, Leo.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Leg.
Leo, you got 1 left.
Well, thanks, Sam. That was great.
Thank you, that's lovely.
You can tell you know what you're doing.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's less different than I thought.
Yeah.
Really competitively, anyway.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
contact, we're not good.
I went
All
for
right.
a spare to the head.
I think I didn't get hit.
All right. Right. Oh. Turns out when you wear flat shoes,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I don't know what dress a lot. Phil, did you? I don't know what happened there. So
I thought I saw a thrust to the chest here, but I don't know if it was good because you were falling down and he was falling down. So no contact. All right, reset. All right, reset. All right, get slippery out here, people.
like,
All right, good.
yeah. Hey,
Head.
body. Like,
You okay?
yeah, okay. Arm.
That's it.
All right.
All right, well done.
Begin. Body on both? No.
just me.
Body on Leo. Leg.
Leg.
Leg on Phil. Head on you?
Yeah, well,
Head on Phil.
Eh. That was body.
Body on Leo. Yep. Yep. 6-6.
you're protecting your head well, that's good.
Body on Leo.
4-6.
Body on Phil. Well, body on both.
Body on both. 2-4.
Body on Phil. I don't know about the timing. Maybe head on Leo.
Yeah, I was ahead
All
of
right.
me.
Head on Leo, body on Phil. We have a nice card.
Alright,
That is it.
All right. Thank you, Phil. Good job. Thank you.
Do you want me to say Jordan?
body. You haven't hit me yet.
There. Yes!
Hooray, Nico.
I did it for you, Derek. Appreciate that.
Nice. That was a nice switch.
Better, what's going on?
Warrior in recovery.
That's right.
Yeah, there's my legs.
Good leg.
All right, so I just finished up doing the fighting. This is just the control, so not the data that we're really interested in, but still brings some interesting realizations that are going to have impact later in the experiment. The most of the soreness and tired comes from holding the shield up here, and that's really in the shoulder there. And so I'm really interested to see, does walking affect my endurance levels when it's a lot of upper body with the shield fighting. But obviously footwork's very important too, so we'll see there. I'm not super tired, like I could fence more now, probably not very well, but it's an interesting question, very fun, lots of fun. Yeah, that's really what I got.
Did you even feel like your performance declined?
Yes, my performance, if you watch the video, you can see my shield steadily gets lower. Basically every bout it drops a little because my arm is getting more and more tired, so I can't keep the right position to hold it. So yes, my performance definitely decreased the more I fought. And you can just see my edge alignment, how my sword is being held, is getting worse and worse. So there's a chance that even some of the hits I did score wouldn't have actually cut anybody, because if it's floppy, you know. So it does definitely affect the length. The question is, does the marching affect that the same way the fighting does?
Yeah. How long did you fight today, and how long was the battle?
So what time is it now? Okay, I don't know how long I've
Talk about the battle.
fought, but the battle, that's a good question, and there's a lot of people think that battles were just something that just like went and just didn't stop, but even in like the most heated battles they'd pause, and we know for certain with this battle that they paused, because once the English had stormed the bridge there was a pause, and then again when the king of the Norwegians died, there was a pause in the battle, and the Viking reinforcements arrived, and King Harald offered surrender to his brother Toystig, who was commanding the opposing army, but Toystig was just like, screw it, and the battle continued. So there were several pauses. I'm pretty sure, we can't know for certain, but I think the battle probably went from around noon or 1 to maybe 4 or 5, so probably 3 or 4 hours. But the men wouldn't have been fighting for the whole time. So it's a good question, but they would have been far more exhausted than I was after this, because you're fighting for your life, and you are probably fighting longer and harder. So, and there's another thing to be said, like, this isn't a perfect recreation of what would have been happening at the battle, because it was most likely a lot more lines of men with their shields right next to each other, pushing against each other and like stabbing over and under. But without assembling hundreds of people, this is really the closest you can get. So it's a measure of my endurance and my kind of ability to fight. And there probably were smaller fights interspersed. The most famous story from the Battle of Stamford Bridge is the Viking who stood on the bridge when the English army was trying to come across and was just cutting down with this huge axe anybody who came at him. Until one of the Englishmen took a little boat and sailed under the bridge with his spear and stabbed up through the bridge under the guy's legs. So it was a complicated battle, but this isn't a perfect recreation, but you know, it's about as close as you can get.
What about, some guys had those circle swords, you had sort of that teardrop shape.
Shields.
Any notice
So, yeah, big difference. They're not quite as big as we thought. The circular shields, though they kind of take a bit more muscular strength, like because of the lack of strapping, and they don't cover your legs as well, you can use them a lot more they're a lot more maneuverable, and you can be a lot more aggressive with them. But we see on the Bayeux Tapestry, which is my main source for the equipment, people using both circular shields and kite shields, but it's still the majority of people at this time were using the kite shield because it's lighter, it's easier to carry, and for the Normans, this less applies to this battle, but for the Normans, if you're on a horse, it covers your leg, and you don't need really your hand to use it as much as with the circle shield. Like, you can have it strapped and then you're holding the reins of your horse. Or even more, for a foot soldier, you have your kite shield, you're climbing a ladder or something, you can still do that two-handed and have your shield. So it's a lot more maneuverable, it covers more. So the circle shields were being slowly phased out, but they're still around. And I think you could wager that maybe even the Norwegians probably had slightly more, but we still see them, they had kite shields too. So, but yeah, there is a difference. So it was an interesting seeing circle on kite.
But today you had your chainmail instead of like your padded coat you usually wear.
Yeah. I don't get as hot with the mail. The padded coat is like a winter jacket. But still, the mail like does wonders for the protection. You know, it doesn't look like it, but even the like hard hits, like, yeah, it hurts a bit, but you're fine, you know. So somebody really would have to wind up. You'd have to be pretty open too, and like hit you really hard with that sword to like break your collarbone or something. An axe, it's a different thing, you know. An axe can probably go through the mail. You see later examples of people's skulls where they had a mail coif over the skull and they got hit with an axe and the mail wouldn't break, but the axe would drive the mail into their skull and kill them. And so it's a whole nother ordeal with an axe. But the mail is really wonderful, and I don't feel it. Like, you barely feel it once you're used to wearing it at all. Especially with these short-sleeved ones, like since most of the stuff I'm doing is like here, like it doesn't weigh down my arms, it's all sitting on my body. So if I'd been fighting those fights and my armor had been accurate, like if we'd been counting my armor as working, it would be a whole nother ordeal if I was fighting a bunch of people who didn't have it.